Alright, what's up everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or any of that good stuff. Actually, it's probably been like 2 years since I've done a live stream on Facebook, maybe even 3. It's been a long time. So anyway, if you're new on Facebook or YouTube, this is the Baitman channel. This is the Baitman stream. And we talk baits and fishing things and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, glad to be back. I've been really busy with work and life, and I have been doing all kinds of housework. So remodeling my house, about halfway done on the flooring. You would think I could whittle a really good balsa bait as much woodwork as I've done, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I literally just watch YouTube videos and try to do that. So do me a favor, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or whatnot, hit the like button. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We're here to talk baits tonight. I've got some stuff that I've been sent lately, but anyway, yeah, dude, not Baitman, floor man. It looks good though, Darius. I have Brittany send your wife a picture. Actually, you might have seen it on Facebook. So, what's up, Kyle? South Jersey fisherman. What's up, my man? Yeah. So, because I'm not into the clickbait, I've got to show you something that's really, really disappointing. So, if you guys do or don't know, Jimmy Eater is like my favorite balsa bait builder. Matter of fact, I'll get this Spro box out right here. This is kind of my stash of really good balsa baits. And what's up, Todd? Daniel, it has been a long time since a little Facebook Live, so I decided to merge my YouTube and Facebook tonight. And anyway, so this is a Spro 3700. It's not the super deep one. This is kind of all my flat side balsas. So Jimmy Eater, probably one of my favorite balsa makers. He's no longer making baits. So this is a little root beer. I think this is a badfish, maybe. I can't remember the exact name. Or maybe it's the FTJ. Really cool bait. Kentucky Lake Killer Color root beer. It's kind of bone, brown back, little splatter on it. So when I found out he wasn't going to make baits anymore, I had to order me some plugs. And a friend of mine had some for sale, and I buy a lot of stuff from him. Here's what happened. And actually, I had a dispute with the post office, and I've got to send this stuff to them. So this is my 2 Eater's baits. They're no longer made. What's left of them. And I'm not going to hate on the packaging, because I've ordered many baits from this dude, and never once have they arrived like this. Yeah, that is straight up. It's been stepped on, ran over. It's absolutely smashed. So that was one, and that was a grind. That's I think that was called his chocolate brim or something. It's one of my favorite colors. I've done really well on that. And then, God, this one pissed me off too. So this is this was a bad fish, a fulled one. It's got the nice full goldish green back. I was really excited about this one. Yeah, no good here. But the only positive is you can kind of see, if you look here, there's a wire that goes through these baits. So these are all wire through balsa baits. Makes the action a whole lot different. So anyway, filed a claim with UPS or USPS, and they're trying to say it wasn't their fault. I have to send them photos of the packaging. It literally arrived like this, halfway open, half smashed. The bills are broken completely in half off these things. So, man, it's crazy. What's up, Josh? Thanks you guys joining in from Facebook. It's been a long time since I've done like a Facebook live stream, but I decided to kind of merge this thing. Shout out to the YouTube channel members. Thanks for the support as well. I know I haven't really done a whole lot this month. We'll try to get the members only videos coming back, members only streams. So if you're not a member of the Jank family, go ahead. What's up, mainstream fishing? So anyway, some other stuff I've got. I got me a little care package from my man Sean over at Titty's Jig Works. So if you're not following Titty's Jig Works, especially if you're on Facebook, go give his page a like. He sent me a bunch of new bladed jigs. Let's check these things out. Got Baitman's Curve 55. This is Baitman Jr.'s Curve 55. He's been slaying them on this guy right here. Speaking of wintertime, this is a great little bait for the winter. If you guys like a wiggle wart, if you like a rock crawler, the Curve 55 is a really good alternative. It's got a little tighter wiggle. It doesn't thump as hard, but it has this little S motion. But he's been throwing this in the ponds, done pretty good on it. You guys see Junior's casting. He's really good now. So fixing to get him up on the bait caster. But got a good sale on these on 6 cents website. Use my code BAITMAN anytime you're on there. I really appreciate the support. And anyway, let's see what Mr. Sean sent from Titty's Jig Works. He said he'd send me a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, we got a $5 donation tonight from Hunter Nixon Fishing, and let's see what he has to say. Have you had a chance to play around with Shimano's crankbaits? I actually got one. I'll show it to you here in just a minute after I do show off these Titty Jig Works. The titty talk gets me every time, but I did get a Macbeth from the hookup tackle. So they sent me a really cool care package, and guess what? Tonight we're gonna see what the hookup tackle sent me, and then I also bought. So anyway, members saw a little preview of that a few weeks ago. Hello, Cheryl. Glad to see you. Thank you so much for the towels, by the way. What's up, Elijah Talley? Nathan, good question. You ever catch him on the Finesse 55? I haven't thrown a lot, but Junior throws it quite a bit. He likes it. It's got a really good action to it. It's different. It's not a true square bill. It's kind of like I won't say a -1 as it doesn't wake, but it just gets right below the surface and has a really cool action. Great if you want to go around the side of some boat docks. Great, really shallow gravel bars, points, and flats. Really cool little bait. But anyway, NFL Guy 33, what's up, man? That's actually Bait Junior. He accidentally deleted his YouTube channel, so he actually created a YouTube channel with NFL shorts, and he's got like 500 subscribers in a week. It's crazy. So anyway, let's check these out. These are some new colors that Sean's making, and you can find him on Facebook, Titty Jig Works. Let's just start with this guy right here, since I'm about the orange. Go Vols, baby. Basketball season now. Had a good football season. Missed the playoffs, but 10 wins. I ain't gonna hate on it. So this is called Sunburst. This is pretty cool. So this is not quite a fire crawl, but almost like a kind of a golden shiner. You got some gold, some orange, some silver in there. I really like how he paints the heads to match the skirts on there. Got a really good stout hook on there. So he sent me some of these before. I really like them. I threw them in the pond, and they run good. So if you'll notice that, he's got the right connection. There's no split ring there. And this is actually a chatterbait product that they actually manufacture out and let guys build tackle with. So that's pretty cool. That's Sunburst. Let's see. I'm gonna put these back in the pack. I think I'll do me a end of the year big giveaway as well. What's up, Mangler? Thanks for joining in, man. I appreciate your support, and I got some baits from you. If you were on Instagram, you saw what Mangler sent me. I can't wait to show you guys on Facebook and YouTube. So anyway, do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button. If you're on Facebook, hit the share. Let's get some people in here and talk some baits. This one is Smoked Shad. I really like this. This is a very natural color, especially if you're kind of in a clear water situation. So Smoked Shad's got that silver black back. It's got some clear white tinsel in it. It's really, really good looking. I love that they have these big eyes on here. So this is really cool. Again, these are from Titty's Jig Works. And his Instagram is titties_jigworks. And his last name's Titsworth, so that's where the name comes from. Yeah, Elijah, I really like that one, man. That's a very natural color. That'd be great in clear water, great in some stained water. If you just want to imitate a bait fish, there you go. That's Smoked Shad. And he's got lots of other colors all on his Facebook page. And I like highlighting the small tackle companies, you know. That's something that I always did from the ground up of the Baitman stuff on Facebook. I always like to highlight small guys, small tackle companies. I mean, the Berkeley's, Strike Kings, Missiles, 6 Cents of the World, they're great. Love all their baits, all their products. But we all like to support the small guys too. So now this is a cool one. This is very similar to the Smoke Shad, and you know what's really gotten popular is crappie patterns. Bayou, what's up, man? I think you'd be correct. It does look like the Manic Mullet jig head, which you can get from Do It Molds. And I'm going to be honest, I can't paint near as good as this dude, so I'm going to let him build these things. I do like this head design, though. It's actually a great swim bait head, too. So there's kind of a crappie pattern. I really like this. Again, that could be any kind of bait fish. It's very similar to like a blue glimmer that we use a lot here on Kentucky Barkley Lake in the fall. Really sweet color. And that's from Titty's Jig Works. It says, we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. Maybe issue on Facebook. Oh, gosh. Well, let's see how this works. Someone probably reported me on Facebook. Alright, so I guess we're back to YouTube only. So I lost all my Facebook guys. Damn. That dang internet of mine, I tell you. What's up, Jerry? Yeah, man, I like these too. Mangler, I guarantee you could put the Mangler's magic on here and have you something awesome. No duck races. No duck races. I have not tried the Mega Bass Nanahan jerk baits. I have not. What's up, Rob Cochran? Yeah, man, we'll talk. We'll get some OG shallow cranks here. Maybe not tonight. Got a lot loaded on here. So that was the crappie pattern. This is a really cool one. So this is Morning Dawn. Check this out. So if you want something a little bit wild, a little bit different, maybe it's some dingy-ish water, maybe you're after some smallmouth. Facebook went, Joe says Facebook went down. Man, I'm sorry about that. You're right, Darius. Can't say titties on Facebook. That's probably it. What's up, Walt? I actually got some Chunky D's on the way as well. Those are named after Mr. Byron Childers. I'm very interested to see that bait. Got some from my man Matthew McKee over at McKee Outdoors. So that's a Morning Dawn. That's a really cool looking color right there. I like that. It's different. I like different stuff. You know what I mean? You know, those smallmouth are notorious for liking these bright, weird colors. And this is no different here. So, really, really cool. Maybe even a guy that wants to throw a bladed jig at night. Be really sweet. Hella Bass has been kicking butt on the streams. I've been able to pop in every now and then. I think he's way more popular than me these days. Then again, he's also really, really consistent. So shout out to Hella Bass. He don't take near as many mental health breaks as I do. So, all right. So I got two more. This one is actually my favorite. So he posted this one, and I said, "Dude, that's juicy." This is green gizzard shad. So if you remember, like that Strike King green gizzard, one of my favorite all-time crankbait colors. Check this guy out. Woo. Very natural. You can see it's got that hint of gray and green in there. Man, you can do a lot of different things with this. Put a bunch of different trailers on that. So, yeah, I like this one right here a whole lot. And this is a bigger bladed jig. It's not as finessey as like a jackhammer. But how's the bottom of the head on those jigs? Are they flat so you can skip? No, they're not flat. So it is pointed. But by the time you add a trailer, Caleb, especially something with some bulk, like a Hog Farmer Spunk Shad or something like that, that trailer will catch the water. You'll be able to skip these pretty well. So I think the trailer for skipping matters just as much, if not more, than the head design. And honestly, if your bait falls sideways, it's probably going to skip. So, but I like the green gizzard shad. And the last one, this is the springtime special. I've got so much stuff in here, it's unreal how bad my bait room looks like. These are Titty's Jigworks bladed jigs. I don't know if he has a real name, but this is his version of Fire Crawl. Actually looks really, really good. So he's got that bright, like Tennessee orange in there, and then he's also got some streaks of red and black. But check out the head. I mean, he's went into really cool detail on the head with that. Whether that matters or not, I don't know. But really, really sweet Fire Crawl bladed jig there from Sean. And you can check him out on Facebook, Titty's Jigworks. Really, really nice. Haven't had a chance to fish this year, period. I hear you, man. I had to get away from the cards too, James. I was like, me and sports cards, they kind of hurt my fishing pretty bad. Let's see. Check out Facebook. I don't think it's working anymore. They probably banned my page, which is great. If they banned my page, I will not be able to keep posting my baits of 2022. No, I just knocked my stream down. Okay. Anyway, Baitman, have you tried the Fat Man Tackle Company bladed jigs at all? I have not. There he is. There's Andrew, Tackle Talk Podcast. What is up, man? I had so much fun with Tackle Talk Podcast, both on the stream and on his podcast, man. Andrew does it right. So I got zucked, man. I got zucked. Wintertime spinnerbaits tonight. Can't find my Stanley Vibe single blade. Man, so wintertime, I like a, if I'm fishing for smallmouth, really I like a smaller compact spinnerbait, but traditionally in the winter, I want something that's got a really big blade on it and fish it really slow. You're not fishing for multiple bites with the spinnerbait in the winter. You're fishing for one bite, and it's usually a big one. I personally, if I got one over here, I like an Oldham's. I don't think I got one right offhand, and they're old school. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. This is one of them. This is an Oldham spinnerbait right here. This is a killer winter combo right here. So this is OG, and I've modified it. I've put a Hog Farmer Spunk Shad on there. I got me a little Jank Juice 6-cent skirt. I think it's Table Rock. But one cool thing about the Oldham's is it's got a screw lock. That hook is rusty, but it will catch them. But I've got this big old willow blade and one small Colorado up here. This thing, slow roll it around deep points over the top of brush piles, really slow. That's kind of what I'm going to use in the winter. Something that's big, got a big blade, gives it lots of flash. You see that's a hammered blade. Look at all the flash on that right there. That's what I'm using in the winter versus, if it's a summertime, I'm going to use something more compact. And this will work in the winter. This is big enough. This is an Accent River Special. It's got a pretty big blade on it. It is a little bit more compact. That is Purple Haze. They actually make that color. You got to order it on their website. But yeah, for wintertime, I'm not going to throw, here's a compact spinnerbait right here. I don't know what brand this is. I actually think this is a really good looking spinnerbait, but it's a lot smaller profile, smaller blades. I'm going to throw this more in the springtime. So anyway, good question. Have trouble finding spinnerbaits heavy enough to fish in Minnesota waters. I thought we used the Bassman spinnerbaits. I bet they're on Tackle Warehouse now. Let's see. I really want to try the OSP bladed jig. It's similar to the Stealth blade, but the blade is different. It has a very sharp shape. Huh. I like OSP stuff. Been throwing trailer hitch jigs since the late 90s. Legit. Yeah, dude. Oldham stuff is all legit. And they are the first company that really used a screw lock, especially on their flipping jigs and spinnerbaits. All right, James sir, would an A-rig be good for winter bass fishing? An A-rig is absolutely awesome for winter bass fishing. Oh my God. if I was going to have a top 5 winter baits video like every other YouTuber and their brother and people on Instagram and wherever, I would probably include the A-rig. In fact, I think you got to, just by it really actually changed winter fishing for people. I'm not saying it's a crutch or easy, but when it first came out, I mean, guys that never went bass fishing in the winter were buying A-rigs and catching fish. So it was kind of cool because you had guys buying A-rigs, and then they kind of got into swim baits, and they went into little paddle tails and boot tails, and then some of these same guys are now throwing glide baits and bigger baits. A-rig was just a way to really, it was a vice to get people to doing something different. Hey, not a problem, Sean. You make really, really good stuff. So, what else I got? I got some really cool jigs from my man, Dave Manglesdorf. If I mispronounce your name, Mangler, I'm sorry. I'm just going to call you Mangler. So, y'all know that I throw this a lot. This is the Cold Shad JDM version of the jackhammer. So, it is a jackhammer. Whereas the ones in the United States are still jackhammers, but there's certain colors overseas that aren't made. Now, people think because it's a JDM, it's tungsten. It's not. They have their own TG version of a jackhammer that is tungsten, but this is just the regular model. I've got a 6 cents juggle minnow on the back of this thing, and honestly, between this and a spunk shad, they're the two best trailers I've really found. For chatterbait, if you want that nice subtle presentation, you want to get wild, you want lots of flapping action, you want your chatterbait to roll and crazy, that's when you want something kind of like you know, not a swim bait, but parts of a creature bait, a rage crawl on the back actually is a really good trailer, a menace grub. But if you want a nice bait fish like profile, the juggle minnow is where it's at, and that's, I believe that's called rose minnow. It's actually got a pink back, and it pairs up great with this Cold Shad. But I'll show you that because this is Mangler's magic right here. Check it out. He actually took a 6 cents Divine swim jig and put his own color skirt on that. Check that out. So it matches that Cold Shad really good. So am I going to throw this in the winter? Probably not, but another great alternative to a white or a bait fish profile. I love the pink. I mean, let's look at, one of these is a jackhammer color, the other is Mangler's Magic. Pretty dang sweet. Matter of fact, I think I might get me a couple of the Queen Tackle switchblades, make my own bladed jig out of this. Yeah, throw a juggle minnow, a spunk shad on there. But he sent me 3 of them, and I offered to pay the man. He said, nope, don't do it. And I want to make sure Mangler gets a good shout out. He's an awesome dude. I know he supports the Justin Broil, supports the Six and lots of companies out there. Shout out to one of the companies he always works with, Litchfield Lures. But man, he did an amazing job of really matching up that Cold Shad, and this is a color he's been using a lot. But man, looks sweet, man. Looks sweet. So thank you, Dave, so much for that. Eventually, I'll get my tackle room cleaned up. I'll get all this stuff in a box. So, y'all want to see some JDM baits? A lot of guys in the KBF flip a 1 ounce jackhammers. I guess that's the kayak bass fishing. So here's a great point from Sean, and I've heard this before. Even the TG version is a tungsten compound, so it's not solid tungsten. And they have it because certain lakes have lead bans. So I've always heard the reason that tungsten is super popular out in Japan is because, you know, there's a ban on lead out there, which I don't think is a bad thing, but we had heard years ago, and it started in California, lead was banned, and so the rise of tungsten in the fishing industry has kind of started. So let's see here. Yeah, dude. So I love the 6 cents swim jig heads. You know, the Divine swim bait heads. All that stuff are really, really good. It's about all I use. And even if I wasn't associated with 6 cents, I would use them. Matter of fact, there's video on my channel from years ago, me throwing a jackal bait Their swim bait with 6 cents head, and that's when I was like, holy cow, these things are really, really good. So, all right, let's see some JDM stuff. Got me a little order with the hookup tackle not long ago, and I ordered me some more OSP stuff. So the guys that have seen this, I'm sorry. My members, who just had to bear with me. But first thing I got, a lot of you guys have asked for a long, long time. Baitman, what's the best Mogula chatter model you've used? I've never used the Mogula. Honestly, I know this might bother some people. When it comes to bladed jigs, I literally throw a jackhammer, and that's about it. I do throw, there's a Amakatsu makes a really good bladed jig. I forgot the name of it. I got one over here actually, or Nori's. It's the Nori's bladed jig. I really like it, but I don't get crazy into the JDM bladed jigs. Jackhammer's pretty much good enough for me. The Jackal Dara blade, the small one, that's a really cool one too. I think Rick Bart sent me one time. Do like it. Now I like the Chatterbait Mini Max, so I don't get too crazy on that. It just, I get having something different, and that's cool. But when you break a bladed jig off, it's easy for me to go get another jackhammer. It's really hard for me to get some of the JDM stuff. But anyway, so I bought these with my own money from Hookup Tackle. I'll link these in the description. This is the OSP Do Live Beaver, 3.5 inch, kind of a sprayed grass color. And I got these to try out with the free rig. I'm going to try to fish that free rig this year. So really cool little bait here. You could flip this. You could punch this. You could use it as a finesse jig trailer, or you could free rig it. You could probably even put it on a little shaky head. So, oh, what's up, Chris Pack? That's my voiceover guy for MMA Bass TV. I want to let you guys know, some people don't know this. Pack makes custom belts. He makes wallets. He makes custom leather koozies. He's one of those dudes, if it's leather, he can make it. And find him on Instagram. And I'll actually share some stuff he's made later after the stream. And if you need something for Christmas or a gift, go hit that dude up. He makes amazing stuff, all made right here in Western Kentucky. But that's the little Do Live Beaver. I kind of like this bait. It's small, compact, and you do a lot of different stuff with it. I don't own many OSP plastics. I got some like chatterbait trailers, stuff like that, but the Do Live Shad, but this is the Do Live Beaver. Really, really cool looking. If I was a guy that was a river fisherman, I would love pitching this guy on some wood on the river. Probably take just like a 2/0 flipping hook, something like that. It's about the same size as like a 6 cents crude. Now, I also got some hard baits. He could possibly make a giant leather swim bait. Hunter Nixon said, try the slobber knocker. I haven't, Hunter. I know some guys that really like it. I know some guys that really don't like it. What's up, Little Rich? JP here, what's up, man? It's okay to be late, man. Usually I'm the one out on time. Try the Depths Bull Flat for the free rig. I got some of those Nori's gills I'd like to try as well, but I've heard that Bull Flat's really, really good. Rick Bart's is going to hook somebody up with some Amakatsu bladed jigs. They have an action net crankbait. Oh. Now we're talking. Like a wattle bait bladed jig. Alright. What's up, Scott Skinner? Good to have you on, man. I'm glad to see a lot of familiar faces, some new faces tonight. Be sure to hit the like button for me. Be sure to share. Do what you need to do. I want you guys to leave a comment after the stream tonight, because I've been doing this thing on Instagram where I'm talking about the best baits, in my opinion, unbiased, of 22. They could be older. Some of these baits are ones that's produced well for me. So leave a comment after the stream so YouTube says, hey, Baitman's back. Let's see some action of what one of your best baits of 2022 is. So here's the flat side OSP Spec 2. You know the color. Chartreuse in purple. I like this bait. You can kind of see that the honeycomb internal on this, if the camera will get right, because these baits are a little bit different. They're not just hollow inside. They're built with like this honeycomb design. The only issue I have with this bait, it's silent, by the way, which is fine, but it's really light. So probably going to have to go like the Craig Powers route or get really light on the line to cast this thing. Probably not going to be really good on a windy day, but I really like this bait. I've got another one and it runs really, really good. So OSP is right now my favorite JDM tackle company. I think they make really good stuff. You're fixing to see my favorite JDM jerkbait in just a second. I'm just going to start hanging stuff. I cannot put more of this stuff in the floor. So this is my favorite jerkbait from OSP. This is the Rudra. It is super, super slept on. It is a little bit bigger jerkbait. If you guys remember the Lucky Craft Slender Pointer, I believe it was the 112. That was one of my favorite jerkbaits ever made, and they kind of quit making it. They made a 127 as well, but this guy here reminds me of that bait. And there is the Rudra from OSP, and that color is, and they got some funky color names. That one is Ghosts, GHF or whatever, some kind of similar to like a ghost minnow color. But this is actually kind of transparent. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's got 3 ball bearings in here. They don't slide all the way back and forth. It's not super loud, but it does have some noise to it. But I really like the Rudra. I know a couple Bassmaster pros that have been like, this thing is down low, a killer jerkbait. It's a bigger profile than say like a 6-inch Provoke or a Vision 110. This is the suspending model. They make a high float model. And then I got this color right here, this Tasty Shad, which is one of their standard colors. It's not quite, it's very similar to the one I just showed you, but it's not as translucent. It's got a little bit more white to it, so you're going to have a little bit different flash. Hey Mangler, thank you so much for joining up as a member to the channel. Shout out to the Mangler. I appreciate the support, man. You don't have to join. We have some great conversations on Instagram. But that is the Rudra. So a little bit bigger profile for suspending jerkbait. And OSP makes another jerkbait. And I got it. Thought I had one over here. Yeah. Or I did. If I can find it, I probably laid it down somewhere. They make one called the Varuna, which is really, really loud. Lots of rattles in it. And somehow I've lost it. Imagine that. Imagine freaking that. Anyway, put these back in the box so I can hang them up. Anybody like to volunteer to come help me clean out the bait room? I am taking applications. I am taking applications. Alright, I've got some more stuff from the Hookup Tackle, and I want to give a big shout out to Ben over at the Hookup Tackle. He actually sent me a bento box. Now, it wasn't this month's bento box, but he sent me a bento box. Let me find this sucker. It's got to be here somewhere. Surely I haven't lost a box from the Hookup Tackle. Oh yeah, here we go. Alright, so full disclosure, Ben sent this to me. I was going to make a normal video, but you know, time. Bento box. So you can get the bento box at the Hookup Tackle. They run them every month. It's kind of like somebody that it's a high-end deal. So this isn't really kind of, it doesn't really compete with like the 6-inch Super 6-sack where that's a $29, $30. This is like $100 here. And a lot of this stuff is collectible for the JDM guys. So Ben sent me this, and I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on it here. So I will get Ben on a stream. It's going to happen. So I actually saw this bait right here. He made an Instagram post with this bait right here. This is GP Echolate, and this is a special run Division 110 color. And you can obviously see why I wanted this bait. Hello Bass says, this is my favorite bento. I also smell some sarcasm. So We'll talk about if this is worth it or not here in a minute. But to me, I love this color. I mean, it's your classic kind of almost a lavender shad, but it's a little transparent. You got the purple back, a little white belly here. And, you know, Vision 110, that's the standard on jerk baits. That's what every company sets out, compares their bait to, whether it's Berkeley or 6 Cents or Strike King. Everybody knows that in cold weather in the spring, the Vision 110 dominates at times. Not saying nobody else's stuff catches them. Honestly, you can throw a 6 Cents Provoke for half the money. You can catch a lot of fish on that. But I personally like to have some Vision 110s in my arsenal. And you know me, I gotta have some purple color. And that's just really natural. It's not crazy loud. It's a little transparent. Our water on Kentucky Lake is getting really clear. So I'm moving to more transparentish stuff. On overcast days, I want stuff that has some white. So that's the first one. Then also, this is a bait I don't catch a lot of fish on. So I don't know what I'm going to do. This is a Pot Max. Honestly, they're pretty much hang on my wall for a reason because I don't throw them. However, this one I may throw in the fall next year. I really actually do like the Echolate, whatever they call. Really cool, very similar. It's got a bone kind of belly to it. You got that clear purple back, very translucent. I think this would actually probably produce more than the ones I've thrown. I don't know. There's a cult following for Pot Max. Guys either really, really love it or they really, really hate it. But I'm willing to throw a purple bait. So it's I like a Rico. Rico's good. I really like the 6 Cents popper. I've caught a lot of good fish on it. Darius likes. I've been fishing with him. He likes that big one. God dang it, the splashback. I like the splashback 70. Darius likes the big one. But Pot Max, I like it. You know, I like the color. I'm not a huge fan of the bait, mainly because I can't figure out how to catch them on it. So that's, you know, full disclosure there. That's a me issue. Not sure if it's a bait issue. All right. Golly, I'm running out of room. So the other hard bait. This is a really cool bait, and I don't know if I want to get it out of the package or not. This is an LV200S slow sinking. The color is Essa Dawn. So very clear. You know, we got to get this out of the package. We just got to. So if you know the LV500 is badass. Probably one of the best lipless made, especially for fishing this time of year. Well, this is an LV200, which it doesn't weigh as much as the LV500, but there's something really cool about this bait that's different. If you guys notice inside this bait, there's not rattles, but you have this kind of, I don't want to say, it's kind of a brass bar inside here. So you get this clicking sound. Totally different than most lipless. Most lipless is either a knock or it's rattles. You get this clicking action, almost like a crawfish click. But what that also does is this thing's vibrating. It's going to throw a lot of flashes, almost like that boost flash from Shimano. But I believe this was and Ben can roast me if I got this wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was a collaboration with Lucky Craft and Valley Hill. Really cool bait. You know, obviously kind of got some fall vibes to it, but I could see this working in the winter, almost fishing it like a blade bait on a vertical presentation. I like that sound. It's very, very, very unique. I'm just so scared to buy LVs just because I'm the snag king. You are going to snag LVs. It's just going to happen. But, dude, after Matt Allen kicked my ass on Lake X with the LV500, fishing it like a football jig, I'm a believer in that guy. And you can do that with a lot of different lipless baits. I mean, the Duke from 6 Cents. Dude, this one got mashed. I got to get this video edited one of these days. But this guy right here, it's not quite as heavy as the LV500, 5/8 of an ounce. But this thing, it gets eaten. I really like this bait. And they put the BKK trebles on the Duke. It's really loud. You can tell the difference. One thing I like about this versus the Quake is I can burn this one and it will stay a little bit deeper down, whereas the Quake will tend to rise. Now, when I'm fishing really shallow water, I want the Quake. This time of year, I'm going to throw something like the Duke. It's just a little bit nose heavy. All right. Anyway, back to the bento box. All right, hookup tackle color. All right, so exclusive hookup tackle. I kind of like, you know, everyone like electric chicken. This is like brass chicken to me. You get that brass color inside, the pink back. So, all right, this is a Mega Bass. Now, the rest is soft plastics. No, I got one more hard bait. Hunter Nixon asked about the Shimano hard baits. Well, here's a Macbeth. Very interesting bait. I've been wanting to buy a couple. Let's get this out of here. I think Shimano's done a really good job with their hard baits lately. I need to order one of their spinner baits. They're going to make this where it's hard for me to get out of the package, obviously. It's kind of wild that Shimano's really dove into the bait scene. You know, Dai was huge on baits in Japan. Like the TD Minnow, it's godly over there. So there's the Macbeth. Really cool color, kind of like a ghost minnow. But if you'll notice, man, this sucker is silent. So what I was told from someone that works at Shimano, they try to really base these off balsa models that were popular. You know, there's nothing real special about this Macbeth here. It's, you know, it's kind of got that 2.5, 3.5 size. It's silent. It's really translucent. This would probably be a really good color up north for some small jaws. Probably be a good color on Kentucky Lake as well, especially in the winter, fall months. It's big. It's going to move a lot of water. So I think Mangler's right. It does look kind of similar to a Norman middle end. You know, they made that middle end with the small bill very similar. So that's the Macbeth. I do like the eyes on there. You know, what's up, Colin J? Just bought some World Minnows today. I'm excited to try them out, dude. Let me know. You're a bait freak. But so there's the Macbeth. Good Lord. I like to put this stuff back up. Because if I just leave them on the table, I will never put stuff back where it goes. And if you've seen my table here, you would understand why I say that. Because it's really bad. I mean, really bad. So as wild as better the baits get, the more complicated it is to put one back in the package. And that is not good for me. I try to keep my bait room kind of clean. I've gotten way behind on it, you know. Trying to buy a daggum bass boat the last month or so, so that's a little bit while I was behind. I found a really good deal on a boat here locally. It was an older Triton. It's decked out. The guy was as nice as can be, and man, you know, a 24-year-old bass boat, it's really hard to get a small loan on that. So we'll go back to the drawing board on the bass boat. I'd love to get one. I'm ready. I think this year's going to be the year I get it done. I'm going to have to work a lot more overtime, but we'll see. All right. The next in this bento box, this is the RC flat back jig. This is from it's a collaboration of Craft Radio and Depths. I actually like Depths jigs. What's really cool about this, yeah, dude, I like Black Label, man. I like Black Label. I'm sure you saw my post, Caleb. That thing blew up. All right, Will Perriman says American Legacy Fishing has Macbeth on sale. All right, check this out. This is a really cool jig. You know what this reminds me of? This actually reminds me of like a Buckeye mop jig. It's not as poofy, but it's got this living rubber cut skirt material. Pretty wild. I think this would be really good winter jig, actually. It's got a little cover on the hook point, but it's nice and kind of flat here. You could skip this thing. I think this would be really good, like fishing around some submerged timber, fishing over structure. And I probably even wouldn't put a trailer on it. With the way this skirt is cut, I feel like this is kind of like a trailerless jig. You could swim this if you want to. It's definitely got a head pointed where you could do some swimming. But man, this is this is pretty cool. I don't know much about this company. It's kind of an O'Shaughnessy style hook, you see. And it does have a trailer keeper if you want to do that. So, really cool right there. Definitely, I won't say it's a old school Randy's jig, but it's pretty good. Definitely unique. I do like some JDM jigs. I like the Amakatsu has a really good jig. I think Rick gave me one time. It had like a fluorocarbon weed guard. I fished it at Dale Hollow. Smallmouth thumped me in like 40 foot of water, set the hook, and he broke me off. I like the Depths football jigs really well. They're just a little expensive, but all right. Next is the Noki Donkey Boo. Noki Donkey Boo. So this is actually very similar to that OSP bait. But man, this smells like Donkey Boo. Very small. Could definitely Ned rig this. Really good on like that finesse free rig deal I want to try out. Looks like a real small crawdad. Honestly, when you turn it backwards like this, so if it's on a Ned rig, it'd probably stand up like this. It does have a really good crawfish posture, like a fighting crawfish. So really cool bait. God dang, they do smell like Donkey Boo. Alright. What else we got? Two more plastics here. Yeah, so that is kind of like a War Eagle style skirt. A little bit longer. Alright, so this is an OSP plastic. This is the Doe Live Shrimp. Now, this is a big guy. This is a 6-incher. Dude, if that's 6 inches, don't let my wife know. So, anyway. So, this is kind of, I guess, trying to imitate as a shrimp. It's just really more like a big creature bait with long tentacles. Very slender profile. I could see this working on a shaky head, Texas rig, maybe even Carolina rig. I'd like to see this thing in the water. Like, I know some guys have done really well. I know Punch Fishing, Mr. JDM himself, likes throwing this right here on a wobblehead. Does really well. So, Benedetto, my favorite punchy bait, believe it or not, I like a 1 ounce jig. Don't get carried away. I like to punch a 1 ounce jig or something like, you know, just a punching rig with a thin profile bait on it. I know, like that pack of Slims, really good. A D-bomb on a punch skirt. That's kind of how I like. Will says free rig bait. All right, last bait of this bento box. This is a tournament crawler from Megabass. So real finesse plastic. This reminds me of some of the old school hand pours out in California that guys were using for spotted bass for years. You know, you could use this on a very light shaky head. You can drop shot this thing, free rig it. You could use it as a really finesse Texas rig, but nothing crazy. Has a unique smell to it. I've heard these are actually poured in the U.S. I've heard Megabass, these baits are actually poured in Alabama. I don't know if that's true or not, but this says Japan Tour Edition. So, but man, that's a pretty good, unique little worm. You could even wacky rig this, like a real finesse wacky rig. Really sweet. What's up, fishing the Southeast? Yeah, man, I've been on a sabbatical, been doing housework, been working overtime, and I just really wanted to take a break for a while. The fishing industry is wild right now, so I'm not going to get in too much detail, but times are changing, man, and you know, there's a lot of pressure on YouTubers / influencers, pro staff to make sales meet and all that. And the bottom line is people just aren't spending money, you know. And I actually kind of cut back myself. It's Christmas time. I spend my bait money on the kids and all that. So, dude, D-bomb on the back of a jackhammer is really underrated. Rage Bug is an awesome little bait. Period. Let's see. Skinner says D-bombs are real cheap on Tackle Warehouse right now. John Cruz is a good dude. John is awesome dude. So yeah, if you want some D-bombs, they've got I'll show you what's on sale at Tackle Warehouse right now. And They are running some sweet sales. Let me navigate my windows here. Let's see. Share screen. Window. Chrome tab. Here we go. We'll share this right here. Let's go back to StreamYard. Alright. So you can see me over there. So they're running this 12 days of savings deal. So while we're on here, let's talk about some good deals I recommend. What's today? Every day something new goes on sale. I'm going to straight tell you guys, this is the best deal out here. If you want to buy some fluorocarbon line, cigar, dude, check this out. Big time sale on InvisX. You want to get stocked up for the winter, for the spring, right here. 200-yard spools are marked down to $18.89, but the big savings is the 600-yard spools. $50, $54 for 600 pound. It's usually like $79, so you save about $20 a spool on that. If you want to go 1,000-yard spools, you can buy 1,000 15 pound for what you normally pay for a 600. So pretty good savings there. And do me a favor, guys, if you can, think about it when you order from Tackle Warehouse. Use my link in my description. Make sure you accept all cookies. That way it knows you sent me. And they have got all the Tackle Warehouse. There's no hacks no more. They're not going to raid your credit card. That wasn't them. That was just some hackers that hit the processing company. But today is actually select spinnerbaits, spoons, rigs, and jigs. So let's see what they got. Let's see if they got a good spinnerbaits on sale. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Jackal Dune spinnerbait is $6.99 today. I love the Dune. Matter of fact, I'll show you guys the Dune real quick. Where's my Jackal Dune? I really like that spinnerbait. Huh. Of course, I won't be able to find it right offhand. Oh, yeah. I think this is the Dune. Yeah, so here's the Jackal Dune right here. Love the spinnerbait. I've got a little 6 cents. A juggle minnow. Man, I'm telling you, the juggle minnow does so many different things. But I've got this on the back of a Jackal Dune. Nice, slender, small profile. Doesn't have really big blades. But these blades spin really fast. This is a great spinnerbait for fishing up in the higher of the water column. Great around shallow cover. Imitates a bait fish really, really well. I love that Jackal Dune. Dude, $6.99 on that. That's a really, really good price. Let's see what else they got. Let's see if I can go back to my screen sharing. If I click the right thing. All right. Right back up there. Maybe we can do it this way. Oh, let's go back this way. All right. Let's see what else they got on sale today. Lucky Strike Twister. Okay. Got some Ish Monroe blings on sale for $5.94, saving $3 on those. Some good prices on spinnerbaits. Some of these I haven't used. I'm not going to use the Ducket spinnerbait, just FYI. A-rigs on sale today. What we got on the A-rigs? Jinko. Jinko's not bad. Local company here. Vibrating jigs on sale. All right. We love us some vibrators. The Mullick stuff on sale. I actually do like the Shock Blade. They got the Shock Blade Pro up there. The carbon fiber one. I've heard some people really like the carbon. So basically, it looks like all the Picassos are on sale. Holy cow! The A-Mark carbon fiber dredger blade, $4.98. Here's the good ones. Z-Man Cross Eyes on sale. Some of these Jackhammer Stealth blades at $9.79. Holy cow! Wow. I like the Cross Eyes. That's actually probably one of my better value bladed jigs out there. Look at all these colors. They got some really, really good ones. This Water Bug is a great bluegill imitator right here. So save some money on the bladed jigs. See what else they've got on sale. New sale will be tomorrow. It'll be terminal tackle and jig heads. And then swim baits day 11. But after days of 12, they'll all be on sale for the rest of the month. We got apparel on sale. Nothing crazy in reels. Hard baits. Select crawls, creatures, chunks, all that stuff. So just use that TW link and go get you some. All right. Enough of that. Kevin, you ever use those spinner baits with a Ninja Blade? Yes, the Gambler Ninja Blade. I sure do. I have not tried the Berkeley Japan Deck spinnerbait. I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all know I tell how it is. I really feel like United States spinnerbait makers make a better spinnerbait than Japan. They guys in the U.S. put a lot better, bigger, beefier hook in spinnerbaits. Like Spot Sticker is kind of my number one right now. I catch a lot off. That Berkeley one's good. I haven't used the 6 cent spinnerbait. I've heard good things on it. But I haven't got to use one. They all ship to dealers first. I didn't get one. And, I mean, that's okay. No big deal. You know, I'd rather the people get it versus me. Nichols, all those companies make really, really good spinnerbaits. I just can't justify throwing a lot of JDM. Now, saying that, the Megabass SV3, that Jackal Dune, those are really good. I've got this guy right here. I've been wanting to throw this. This is very finesse, though. This is from a company, it's Beeble. I've had this for a little while. I think Rick may have sent this to me. This is a really cool little spinnerbait. That kind of stuff I like, but you know, if I'm going to power fish and fish up shallow cover, fish offshore, really like that stuff. Yeah, I think it used to be 25 days of Christmas, Darius. Old school War Eagle, man, it is hard to beat that. Bassin Panda. You ever throw the Revenge spinnerbait? I used to, man. I love the Revenge spinnerbait. That is a jank in your profile picture, by the way. You have sent that to me before. I like the old school War Eagles. I like the Revenge. They're out of business now. I don't know what happened. I really don't. But they made really good stuff. One of the best swim bait heads ever made. Uh-oh. Slide in my DMs, Kev. Send me a message on Facebook. I'm about broke, but we may work something out. Yeah, man. Spot Liquor. I love Spot Sticker spinnerbaits. My buddy Ryan Coleman, he does an amazing job, man. They sell them on TW. Got the Baitman special on there, and you can order straight from him. Makes a really good jig, too. Let's see. Chris, I don't understand it. Okay. What's up, Tennessee Bass Master? Go Vols, buddy. By the way, I am actually... Oh. Robert says Ray passed away. I did not know that, Robert. I hate to hear that, man. Dude had an awesome company. Did not include my condolences to his family. Striking does make good spinnerbaits, man. They do. I like their new tour grade spinnerbaits. Very War Eagle-ish, but it's a good spinnerbait. And I'll be honest, the best spinnerbait Striking makes is the Baby Burner, and it's discontinued. I love the Baby Burner. I've seen it in person. You put the Baby Burner in the right hands at the right time, it is a straight fish catcher, and it is true. All you do is burn it. So, anyway, what else you guys want to talk about? God dang, I'm stepping on baits over here. Let's see. I've got to work night shift Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night. I may try to come on and stream Tuesday or Wednesday night, and we'll talk about. Let's just do it. Let's just talk winter cranks next week. I mean, we got to. Everybody likes cranking in the winter. I think it's the most productive technique. You know, you don't get bored. Sometimes they don't bite it, but hey, I love throwing like a Series 3 and a Bandit 2 or 300. You know, that curve from 6 cents, and really underrated one is the C6. That's a really good one. Did you show the baits in the thumbnail? I did. So if you guys didn't see the baits that were in the thumbnail, because I don't clickbait, no clickbaiting. Look at this. This is what's left of some Eater's balsa baits. And I actually have to take this to the post office and see if they'll refund my $50. This is bullshit. Like, here's what's weird about this. So, the guy I bought these from, let's see if I can get these to hang a little bit. I'll just hit it. This is one of Jimmy's baits. Rest in peace, guys. Rest in peace. Just heartbreaking. I guess, the good thing is, according to what I read on Facebook, live scope is killing shallow bass fishing. So since bass aren't going to live shallow anymore to live scope, I guess I really don't need all that stuff anyway. All right. Yes, I do want to do a stream on New Year's Eve. If I can line enough guests and people up, I'll go as long as I can. We start that thing up for like, dude, hella bass. It won't even stay together for a keychain. But we could start a New Year's live stream from the bait room. Maybe I'll go through every single box and bait I've got in here. Where did I get the purple back Vision 110? So that came in the hookup tackle bento box. I would check with hookup tackle. You can send them emails if they got more GP Ecolatte as the name of it. It's kind of like chocolate but with an E. Got it from hookup tackle. Great people over there, and they sent that to me. Full disclosure, sent it to me free. I actually just was like, hey, I want to buy that. And Ben said, I tell you what, I will send it to you. Give me some love on YouTube. And he said, but I want your honest opinions. So back to that bento box, I meant to say, so here's the deal on the bento box. If you're a guy who wants super high-end baits, it's like $100. Is the value of those baits $100? I'm going to say it's really close. Fishability on those, honestly, right now I'm not going to throw a Pot Max, but I can throw the Vision 110. All those soft plastics, any way you want to rig them, would work this time of year or in the summer. And it's a really cool way to get you a little bit of the JDM madness if you're into different stuff. Good for $100. I mean, I've spent $100 on sports cards and got one that was worth $1. It was the best one. So can't go wrong with baits. But long story short, my honest opinion, I think it was a good box. Could I spend $100 on better stuff if I picked it up? Maybe. But dude, to a guy like me that I'm obsessed with purple and I like that color, that was worth it to me. And so if you're a guy that wants to collect Mega Bass Vision 110s or Pot Maxes, because they always put an exclusive Mega Bass bait in every box, I think it's cool. If you're a guy that's looking to get crazy amounts of JDM stuff, you might be better off picking out your own stuff. But there's no better place, at least in the West Coast right now, than Hookup Tackle for buying that high-end stuff. Now, there's obviously some places. There's a guy in Chicago that's got an awesome store. Rick Bartz works there, helps them out. They're really good too. Carolina Fishing Tackle has great JDM selection, even TW. But Hookup kind of puts the standard on things. And I trust Ben. I don't think he's just trying to offload stuff that doesn't sell. He's trying to give you a variety of stuff. And it's hard to do. No matter if you're 6 Cents, Hookup Tackle, Mystery Tackle Box, any of these brands doing this stuff, you're not going to make everybody happy. And, that's just human nature. So, but I mean, me personally, if I had extra $100 next month, I'd probably buy another one. So, anyway. He is selling, Japan Import Tackle. That's it. I think that's Lee's Sporting Goods or Lee's Pro Shop there. They got great stuff. I need to get Rick on a stream. He's a really cool dude. Really cool dude. But yeah, so what's crazy is I told Ben I'd only let him send me a free box. Let me make an order. So I ordered the OSP stuff, got it, and ended up not getting a bento. And I said, yo, man, my bento didn't come. He said, holy shit, I'm sorry, dude. Literally sent it out that day, and I was excited. All right, now we're talking. Jonathan says, Eldora Million, if you don't know, I love dirt racing and sprint cars. Eldora Speedway in Ohio, July 13th, $1 million sprint car race. I'm probably going there. Probably going to go. Bait Junior. What's that? Dude, if you guys are going to donate $10K, I'm going to be unboxing a bass boat. No offense to anybody else, but if I had 10K, I'd be doing an unboxing a bass boat tonight. So, all right, here's a good question. Don't laugh. How is the baby bull shad? Straight up, it's a great bait. A lot of guys have posted photos, sent them to Mike Book. I've sent them on Swim Bait Universe, whatever. That baby bull shad catches big fish. There's something about the motion in that small profile jointed swim bait. It really does catch big fish. And I think that was a good deal for Buka to do that. I would love to see a resin version, to be honest. I think resin makes a different sound in the water than plastic. Dang. Baitman, you should check out Wayne County Speedway. That is Sheldon Haudenschild stomping grounds, man. They're having a 23,000 to win race there at Wayne County. I think it's the Haudenschild Classic. You think there's drama in Major League Fishing and Bass, you just get on Twitter and see what people are saying about Kyle Larson's High Limit Series versus the World Outlaws. It's crazy. I could have my own dirt channel if I wanted to. So, dude, James, is that not the truth? Everything that's good just disappears. How many good baits have we had over the last few years that just disappear? I mean, it's crazy. And maybe it's just there's a small group of us that finds out how good a bait is, and it's too late. We don't give it a chance. It's wild. All right, Bayou says he likes the baby bullgill better because it weighs a little more. I can see that. Makes it a little bit easier casting. I know a lot of guys actually throw that baby bull shad on a spinning reel. Let's see, Larson and Bell. I think they are. That's true. That's the Jackal business plan. Let's make a bait that's really good. Don't market it really well, and in about 2 years we'll discontinue it, and then everybody goes, "What? I love that bait." So, let's see. Does Big Bite pour for everybody as well? Yes, they pour for a ton of people. Big Bite. It's not my business to say who they pour for and who don't, but they do pour for a lot of people. You could literally call Big Bite up and say, "I want to make Nixon custom baits," and they will pour them for you, of course, for money. But really not a bad business idea. Not everybody's got the capability to pour plastics in mass quantity, so go for it. We have a dirt track about 17 minutes for me. Bridgeport. I've watched the racing over there at Bridgeport. Great speedway. South Jersey and Pennsylvania. The PA posse, man, they're awesome. I love all those guys. I'm a big Danny Dietrich fan. I feel like I should be the Danny Dietrich of bass fishing. He just puts his opinion out there. He doesn't really care. Kyle Larson is the man. I'd love to get Kyle Larson on stream. Let's see if that dude bass fishes. If he could bass fish half as good as he could race, he could win the Classic. What's your go-to weight in shallow water? If I'm throwing a jig, I like a 3/8 or 5/16 in shallow water. And when I say shallow, I mean like less than 4 foot. If I'm Texas rigging, I like a 5/16 sinker. Sometimes I'll go down to a quarter, but 5/16 is a really good one for me. What's up, Monty? Yes, we are getting an Arctic blast. That's why I'm wearing a hoodie in the bait room. Like this summer, I was sweating my tail off, and then it felt really nice in here. Now I got a hoodie on. I actually got a little Mr. Buddy heater down by me, keep my feet warm. So we'll have to do some fishing this spring. I was hoping I was going to get a boat last week, Monty, and I'd have to invite you on. We do some pre-fishing, before BFL. I may jump into BFLs as a co this year. What's your thoughts on Lucas going to NASCAR Point Chase? Man, just leave things alone, man. Just leave them alone. I don't want to see that. Dude, Bulldog spinnerbait. That was a really, really good one, Ted. Really, really good one. I'm sure we could get MTJ. He's a bass guy. Or Ryan Newman. Dude, Ryan Newman would be awesome. I've heard Newman's actually a really good bass fisherman. Really good bass fisherman. Look, I get Luke Bryan on here if you want to break the internet. Might break some panties if we get Luke Bryan on here as well. But so I actually met Tony Stewart in Nashville Bass Pro Shop several years ago. And as many people that call Tony Stewart a butthole, believe it or not, he was actually in the fishing department looking at stuff. And I did not run up to him and go, "Oh, you're Tony Stewart." I just was like normal looking or whatnot. And he just looks at me and goes, "Hey, you think these things are good?" And, I went all Baitman mode on him. And he's like, "Yeah, I definitely asked the right person about these." And just went on about his business. But Tony's a cool dude. Martin Truex Jr., yeah. I don't know who to contact. Maybe it's slide in Dale Earnhardt's DMs. Hey, Nate, I appreciate you, man. I'm just hanging out tonight talking some baits. And, guys, I'll link some of the baits we talked about tonight. I'll link Hookup Tackle in the description. I'll link Sean's Titties Jigworks Facebook page and some other stuff. Next week, we'll just do a winter baits. Let's do crankbaits, my favorite technique. You'll probably learn more about me talking crankbaits and unboxing stuff. And one thing I want to tell you guys, I want to get back to the old school Baitman. Dude, Sean, I'm down below 170 pounds. Part of it's too the beard. I grew the beard out to kind of cover my turkey gobbler. But long story short, I want to get back to the old Baitman. And that's not a knock on any company or anything. But I look back at all my Instagram posts and YouTube videos. And the videos that do the best, unboxings do really good. Everybody gets excited to see a Tackle Warehouse unboxing or 6 Cents unboxing. But the videos that I get more comments from, more interaction, jump up in subscribers are ones where I'm being technique specific. Where if we're talking about spinner baits, we're talking about balsa crankbaits, or let's talk about winter crankbaits. And I give you 10 to 20 different baits, or my go-tos, and what's about them. That's the stuff I want to get back on the channel. Yeah, no dip. I hadn't had dip for 9 months. Pretty crazy. Malcolm Stewart is a pro motocross racer that is huge bass fishing. Dude, yeah, that's James Stewart's little brother, I think. But I want to get back to the original Baitman stuff. Maybe bring you some more short videos. I know the guys liked, when I did a couple videos ranting in the truck, about Randy's jig and the wiggle wart. But I'd love to just throw up a video that's 7-8 minutes long, talk about a specific bait or a couple quick tips. I'm going to get back to the old school stuff. We'll talk about striking, net bait, missile baits, and everything. And I love 6 Cents. I like their products. And I really hope you guys use my code to support me anytime you order from their website in Waterland. And I just want to get back to how it used to be. And part of that's on me not being able to upload as much as I can. But I got, I don't fish for a living. I don't even do YouTube for a living. This is just kind of my hobby. But Baitman's Rant Shorts. I got one for you. We'll do a live rant here in just a second. I have used the old man's Pogo, man. They're a good bait. They're different. They're expensive. $40-50 for them. Are there any boat shows in January? What's up, James Queen? Long time. Yes, I'm going to go to the East Tennessee Fishing Show in Knoxville. I'm actually off all weekend from work, so I'm going to go ahead and tell them, don't call me for no overtime. I'm going to go to Knoxville, and the East Tennessee Fishing Show is awesome. McKee Outdoors, I have a booth there. Bullshad Swim Baits, Hog Farmer. You'll be able to find me at one of those 3 places. And I'll do an old school video. We'll walk around, and I'll show you the best of. Probably going to hang out with my buddy Bo Stevens. Oh, speaking of Bo, he's right here in the chat. Go Vols, baby. That's right, Bo. We're going to hook up East Tennessee Fishing Show. Me and you go out to eat. Go look at some tackle if you're down. Sean says, is the Bassmaster Classic worth it? Dude, I'm going to tell you right now. This may be my Tennessee bias. There is not a better sports town than Knoxville, Tennessee. You got, all right, so look, SEC champs in baseball, SEC champs in basketball. There's going to be a basketball game that weekend. Town's going to be rowdy. We're almost SEC champs in football. We just crapped the bed there at the end. What other team, college team, has almost had 3 SEC titles in the 3 major sports. You know, maybe 4 to 1 year. But anyway, Knoxville's a great town. It's easy to get around. The parking isn't the best, but you can walk everywhere. There's great restaurants. If going to bars is your thing, there's places like that. There's a good sushi restaurant. There's great steaks, Calhoun's ribs. Dude, if you want to know about Knoxville, contact me or Bo Stevens. Probably Bo. He knows those hole-in-wall places. Ruth Chris. Oh, my gosh. Ruth Chris is great. But go to the Classic, Sean, if you got a chance, just to be around a ton of fish heads. There'll be lots of vendors set up there. And there's going to be a ton of people because Knoxville's one of those locations that really pulls from Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and then you get Ohio, Indiana. Those guys can be in Knoxville in 6-7 hours. Ooh, Soccer Taco, man, I've ate there, Bo. That place is legit. Scott, yes, sir. Merry Christmas to you, my man, and Happy New Year. Gotta do, and that's something in life you gotta do what makes you happy. And you know what makes me happy, and I don't always do it, is getting on here talking to you guys about baits and rants and all that stuff. And I love I'm glad the Instagram algorithm is back to a little bit better. It really bummed me out when I take some really good photos of baits, and I was getting like 30, 40, 50 likes. I had some Instagram reels kind of go crazy, but I like just, hey man, this is a great looking photo. I don't care who the bait maker is. I want to show it off and tell you guys about it. And Instagram's kind of kicked back and giving me some love, and I like that. You know, I'm not trying to say I'm a great photographer, but, you know, I like being able to show stuff off and educate people. Let's see. Be prepared to pay it, Ruth Chris. Yeah. You're definitely going to have, I'm going to have to get more views on YouTube to eat at Ruth Chris. Calhoun's is kind of my deal. Here you go. Look here. Austin Steak and Homestyle Buffet is an awesome place to eat just up the street from the East Tennessee Fishing Show. Dude, I love the East Tennessee Fishing Shows. Very excited to go there. So, Bobby Burns says, lots of freebies at the Classic. Russ Lane gave me one of his Spro cranks at the Conroe Classic Wellbait. That's awesome. And great gesture by Russ Lane. So, Mark Dove River Special is a hell of a spinnerbait. Dude, the amount of money that's been won on this guy right here on Kentucky Lake, the Mark Dove River Special, it's unreal. The chartreuse and white one slays them every spring. The Purple Crush is really good. But, you know, I haven't got to talk about this a whole lot, but one thing that's really cool about this spinnerbait versus like the spot sticker's got the shad head. This is more like what I call a pill head. Looks like a pill, you know. Very similar to the old Tempo spinnerbaits. But one thing that's really cool about Accent is they put these fluted blades on there. And see how much flash that is? Lots of flash on these fluted blades. You see that? It's kind of like beveled up. Man, these things, they're smooth, they're flashy. This is a great one. There's a Jacob Wheeler one that's got 3 blades. I like the just straight up double willow. Accent spinnerbait. The quality, they're all, the quality components, everything is great in them. And I think there's a video of me on the channel actually fishing one. There you go. So yeah, if you're going to go to the Classic, you can also do like Sean Lee talks about, looking at some of the cabins. You can find cabins in Sevierville, Gatlinburg. You can kind of do a little sightseeing one day. There's lots of antiques and flea markets there in Pigeon Forge. I know a lot of guys find a lot of old school baits at those Pigeon Forge flea markets. So yeah, thin wire on the Accent, but man, they vibrate really, really good. They're the most durable spinnerbait? No. But dude, so Bo Stevens, here's what I'm thinking. I talked to Matt Robertson. You know, Matt Robertson wore the fur coat. He needs to get a hold of Tony Vitello. He needs to come to weigh in with Tony V and a couple of sluggers on the baseball team wearing a fur coat, because that's what the Vols do. You know, and a daddy hat. Matt Robertson in a daddy hat and a fur coat to weigh in. Instant would be a Vol legend. So, whew. All right, so someone want to talk about a rant. So here's a rant. I don't mean this disrespectful, but our favorite guy, Randy, and Randy is really good at what Randy does, and is getting people to click on a video and listen. And that is something that YouTube will pump you up. But I do find it strange that lately all we're doing is live scope videos. And I get it. I understand. Some people don't like the new technology. Okay. But like, there's only so many videos I could do if I just wanted to bash a company. If I wanted to bash Guggen Squad, blah, blah, blah. But, dude, it's kind of gotten the point where if you want to bash technology and forward-facing sonar, I'm pretty sure two years ago made a video about bass boats are too expensive. All you need is an aluminum boat. And then I just saw, hey, let's walk through my new Skeeter ZXR that cost like $100,000. So, if you want to play one side of the fence, play it. But don't tell me that bass boats are too expensive and you don't need a bass boat and you're on a pro staff with Skeeter and you can get anything you want to and you get the most expensive boat. Yeah, I think Randy's smart enough to understand the technology. And I don't know what the end game is on that. And it's not going away. I don't care if there's a protest or anything. But one thing I'll say is I know a lot of older anglers. I'll just say Mark Menendez, been in the boat with him. He's been with Garmin and Lowrance, and he has made it a point to learn the technology. And he'll also tell you there are plenty of tournaments where it doesn't really matter. You're still trying to find fish. It gives you a better way to maybe see if they're active and if they're going to bite. That's where I see live scope really benefiting. And I've seen it in person. You can pull up to a school and you can see them and you can't catch them. Well, you know what? If you've thrown 5 or 6 baits and they're not active, go on somewhere else. Now, I've also seen it where it don't even matter. Like, you're fishing shallow cover, you're flipping bushes, all this, and you've really got to fish by your instincts. Fish are moving a lot. Maybe they're not suspended. They're on the bottom. They're buried in brush piles in 3 or 4 foot of water. That's the kind of instinctual tournaments that are going to happen where that live scope doesn't really play. Sure, you can go out and find deep fish, but there are obviously going to be tournaments where you're out deep and the fish are in 2 foot of water. So you got to be versatile. Yeah, man. So obviously I used to play my subs too, and we'd get on here and we'd rant against Guggen Squad and all that. But I'm going to tell you right now, John B is a cool dude, and Alex Perrick, which Alex isn't with them anywhere more, but they've been really good to me. So great question. Ballin 21, I believe he works for Bridgeford Foods. Which, hey, more power to him, man. I'd like a good job too. I got one. So, what about a co-angler using a portable live scope? If that was available, I don't know if you could use it or not. I knew at one time there was a rule that they couldn't have GPS devices. So here's Little Rich. Randy's message is learn to fish and not play video games. Sometimes it gets blurred. Well, let me ask you this. Would you still go bass fishing today if you had to use 6-foot pistol grip rods and 1975, 1980 Shimano Bantams? Would you feel that does that using newer fishing lure technology, isn't that not the same? Because boats have evolved, outboards have evolved, our tackles evolved. I mean, dude, from a Rapala floating minnow to a Vision 110, it's crazy how much technology has changed a bait. And obviously, I think some of the newer stuff works better, and there's times when I think the old school stuff works better. So there's going to be times those old school fishermen do really, really good. There's going to be time the new school fishermen do really, really good. You got to put yourself in the right position. And this could be another rant, but luck is a huge part of fishing. There, I said it. You can be good, but you have to be lucky. But to be lucky, you have to put yourself in the position to take advantage of that opportunity. No one has ever been lucky by not being where they're at the right place at the right time. So, like, I'm not going to win the Powerball if I don't play, okay? If I don't play, I can't get lucky. But if I play, I could get lucky. Might be winning $1 billion, but... So, I've seen a lot of guys say this, and this isn't just a Randy thing. I've seen a lot of guys say they need to have an old school tour with no electronics and no technology. That would be really boring, to be honest with you. I don't really think that many people care. Like, there's a whole lot of efficiency. So back in the day when you were wanting to offshore fish or ledge fish, you have to throw marker buoys. You're looking at a paper map. And then all of a sudden we got Navionics cars. So now you got Navionics and GPS. You still had to throw a buoy out. Now, you don't have to throw a buoy out. You can drop a waypoint, you can turn around, you can spot lock it, you can be right there. It's more of an efficiency. And when you're fishing an 8-hour tournament, would you rather be fooling with a marker buoy for 20, 30 minutes at every stop? Or would you rather be able to drop down a GPS coordinate and hit spot lock? Personally, I'm lazy. I'm going to hit spot lock. So. Kev says, a lot of your JDM rods are under 7 feet, so it's a moot point. Just 1 point for people to whine about it. Yeah. And I think that's because there's so many anglers in Japan that fish off the bank. I see a lot of bank fishermen buying these 711, 7.7 rods and having trouble. Honestly, bank fishing, 7.1 to 7.2 is about as long as I want. Just so I can get under trees and around docks and I'm not getting hung up and stuff like that. I would love to see a one bait tournament, like a Bassmaster Elite glide baits only. Let's go, or a straight up jig tournament. I would watch that. So I kind of agree with you here, Mangler. Spot lock is one thing I couldn't go. I'd almost rather have spot lock than live scope, although it is pretty nice to see where they're living and if they're home. But I'm going to tell you, when it gets windy here on Kentucky Barkley Lakes or even wherever you're at, like when I was at OHIV fishing with Captain Ron, there's no way I could have held up fishing out there without spotlight. Gravy, there's not an 8-foot rule anymore. But the thing is, we had this huge news. Oh, you can use rods. They're bigger than 8 foot now. Guess what? I don't see anybody throwing 10-foot cranking rods. Because by the time you lay that joker on the deck of your boat, it's poking your co-angler in the cods. So... Dude, Mainstream says he got a 6.6 for bank fishing. Dude, I like a 6.6, 6.8 rod. You can get in them tight places, man. I really do like a shorter rod. And I'm not a tall guy, dude. I'm like 5'6". So sometimes those 7.5, 7.7 rods are really overpowering me. Baitman, what's your opinion on the top 3 to 5 balsa crankbait rods? So old school bronzeback Loomis 843. Like, that's the holy grail of 843 CBR is probably the best one. They're really hard to find now. I like a Dobbins 704. It's pretty good. If I'm going to throw smaller stuff, that 703 Dobbins is really good. Dude, I have the 6 Sense movement rod, the 7-foot moderate medium action. That's a hell of a cranking rod. I really like the movement series rod from 6 Sense. I'm not just saying that because I'm sponsored by them. I'm saying that because I've thrown a bunch of stuff on them. I love the way they load up. They are graphite. There's a lot of good sensitivity, and I like the handles on them. $130. You use my discount code or whoever's, get 10% off. That's a $125 cranking rod. It's really, really hard to beat that rod. And y'all probably seen it on Instagram or whatnot, and you'll see it on a video. I got to get done with Matt Robertson. Dude, that 711 medium heavy, moderate fast is a really good glide bait rod. It will handle a 3 or 4 ounce bait. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the one thing I would say from 6 Sense I've been really impressed with this year is I like that movement rod. Like, I'm a crankbait nut. Not saying I'm a great crankbait fisherman, but I'm really picky when it comes to a crankbait rod, and they did a really good job. I agree with Don G. He says 704 and 705 glass are great square bill rods. I like that glass rod early spring, late winter, when those fish kind of come up and push the bait. They may eat it, but they're really slow to eat it. It's got a lot of forgiveness in that cold water where those bass are just digging. They don't want to jump. They're just down there digging. You want to keep those treble pin. I really like that glass, real parabolic. Whereas as it warms up, bass get more aggressive. I'm wanting that graphite rod, a little bit more backbone, because I may have to get them away from running through cover, keep them from jumping, stuff like that. So, and I'll be straight up, man. Dobyns makes some great rods. Like, I've been in the retail business. Their warranty customer service is awesome. So, you're gonna laugh at the Cast King Speed Demon Pro is glass and bends almost to the handle. So limp. Throws a balsa mile. So yeah, one thing about balsa baits, a really limp rod is not a bad thing. Now, Craig Powers, he likes the spinning rods for those little balsa bait, and he's a lot better fisherman than I am. I'm not comfortable with it. I would have to go out there and get used to it. Now, if I'm throwing a shad wrap, I will try to use a spinning rod. I really feel like if you're using a shad wrap or a real light balsa bait, like a real light balsa flat side, spinning rod's probably the way to go. But I've, with this reel, this is my favorite. I haven't even put line on it. Tatula SV. This is the old school model. I like the old school ones better than the new ones. I had a bunch of new ones. I sold them, but I like these. With the SV 12-pound fluorocarbon line, you can make some really good casts with light baits. Yep, Bobby Burns says medium light. I like medium or medium light. If I get down like the baby pigs, that small Marty Burns stuff, maybe a DT4, stuff like that, I like a medium light rod. You can even get away with kind of a shad wrap. Once I get into the more bigger balsa baits, like a DT flat, a DT6, stuff like that, that size, even some of those, the eaters baits that are more the wobblers, I like that just a little bit stiffer rod. So, but anyways, guys, my wife just rolled in. Look for a stream. Let's try to go Monday night or Tuesday night. I know Smallmouth Crush does Monday night. I never like to step on any toes or anything. I'm a has-been, but let's shoot for wintertime crankbaits, and who knows, maybe I'll get something else uploaded to YouTube during the weekend. I got to work at nights, which sucks. Got to finish some flooring. So, guys and channel members especially, I want to thank you guys so much for the support. Do me a favor, if you shop at Tackle Warehouse, click my link in the description. Make sure you accept those cookies so it knows I sent you. If you shop at 6 Cents Fishing, use that discount code Baitman, get you 10% off. Make sure you do that for me. That way they know I sent you. Okay, guys, you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys next week.